McDonald's is arguably one of the most recognizable fast food chains in America and possibly even the world. With 41,822 McDonald's in 118 countries, it's safe to say that they're an absolutely dominating force. Now, I've always liked McDonald's, and it's not just because I'm an absolute fan. I honestly think it's just such a great company, and it's a company that essentially came from nothing. It used to be just one small little burger shack in the middle of nowhere, and it's transformed itself into being this absolute Goliath of a business. And now I've always wondered, how on earth did they go from that to the point they are today, where they're absolutely dominating, not just in a town or a state or a country, but worldwide. They are dominating. And so after researching this company and looking into its success, I would have to say that the founder, Ray Kroc, would have one word to say when it comes to the success of his company, McDonald's, and that is persistence. He was once quoted as saying to press on. Nothing in the world can take the place of persistence. Talents will not. Nothing is more common than unsuccessful men with talent. Genius will not. Unrewarded genius is almost a proverb. Education alone will not. The world is filled with educated derelicts. Persistence and determination alone are omnipotent. Now, I personally didn't know what omnipotent meant. It is translated to having unlimited power, or being able to do anything. And this alone really resonated with me, that one of the most successful businessmen in American history really has one thing to say in relation to his success, and that is just being persistent. I mean, this guy is somebody who was in his 50s when he started McDonald's. He really hadn't done anything for the entirety of his life. It was just failure after failure after failure, and he had all these stupid business ideas that he was made fun of for because they're just so stupid. But eventually, I mean, he persisted and he pushed through until the age of 52. He had not reached success. I mean, he was still trying to figure stuff out, and that's when he eventually stumbled upon McDonald's, and I mean, everybody knows how that turned out. Now, this is great and all, but you're probably thinking, well, like, no this is such cliche advice to be persistent, but it's like, how do you actually be persistent, and how do you actually push yourself to do things you don't want to do? And I mean, another cliche thing is just, you just do it. Now, in my personal life, I'm trying to get bookings done for flights. It's been very difficult for me to push towards certain licensing things that I've wanted to achieve for a long time now. And, you know, part of that is money, and part of that is it's really difficult. You know, there's a lot of studying and you have to be persistent there. But another thing is that I'm kind of alone in this. I mean, I have my family and my father supports me heavily, but it's like me against my flight school. It's like I'm not really working with my flight school, I'm working against my flight school, and I really have to fight my way into getting bookings and to getting positions into the flight center where I can actually do the training. And if I don't fight my way into it, then I'm just going to fall through the cracks. And now one of these things is just nonstop asking for bookings and talking to instructors and being really proactive in aggressively pursuing what I want to achieve. And I'm not even going to lie, like, a lot of it does make me very uncomfortable to pursue it so heavily, and to, I don't even want to say it like this, but it's almost borderline harassment. Now, obviously, I would never push things too far, and I'm always extremely polite, but I really do have to push myself into, you know, getting flights and getting bookings, because otherwise they just completely ignore me. And look, I know they're very busy. I know there's reasons for this. I'm not trying to talk down to my flight school or anything like that, but it's just the way it is. And it's kind of I feel like it's almost kind of the careers that I've pursued in aviation and business. It's very highly competitive, and if you don't compete and you don't push yourself into the positions that you want to be in, then you're just going to get pushed out. And so that's kind of what I've faced in my own life. And a thing that I've noticed is that you really do have to be persistent. You know, you have to be persistently talking to people. It's not enough to just ask somebody for something once. You know, you have to follow up. And you have to follow up with emails, and if they don't reply to your emails, then you have to find the number, you have to call them, and obviously being very polite with everything. But you definitely have to push yourself forward. This isn't just for me, this is for everybody else, you know? If you want something done, if you want to get something done, or you want a certain position somewhere, you really have to push yourself out there. It's not enough if you want a high level of career advancement and to be very successful at a very young age. It's not enough to sit around. You kind of have to push yourself into places, and you have to push yourself out there and get yourself in front of people that can make decisions for you. You know, one of the things that I like to think about is that, you know, nothing is done by laws or organizations or governments. Everything is done by people. People make decisions. People make decisions that make the laws. People make decisions that hire people. It is always a specific individual that makes certain decisions that can impact your life, right? You know, it's not like dropping off a resume or pursuing something in schooling or a business. It's not enough to ask the government for a grant, for example. Like, you have to find out exactly who gives that grant, and then you have to influence that person to give you that grant. Or if you're trying to get a job, you know, you don't apply to an organization, you apply to a person. You find out who does the hiring at that organization, and then you talk to them, you influence them into thinking that you're good. I mean, not thinking, but knowing that you're a good fit. It goes with everything. A lot of what I talk about is, you know, great success and being successful and achieving things. And a lot of this channel is based off of Bruce Wayne, who I would argue is probably one of the most persistent fictional characters out there. Guy who's training since childhood to achieve certain things. Persistence is, just like Ray Kroc said, it's something that it's so incredibly powerful. It's almost like a superpower, and just having persistence is really enough to achieve anything and to get anything and any goal. All you really need is persistence. If you like this video, please make sure to join my self-improvement Discord. Links in the description. We have like-minded young people who are on self-improvement, success, business, finance, stuff like that. And please make sure to sub so that I can make future videos and actually get monetized. I have said in the past that I will be making great videos in the future, and that this is just a short period of time where I'm kind of yapping to the camera. And I just want to let you guys know that this period is coming to a close, because I am very, very close to finishing up all my schooling. I have tests finally scheduled for that, and Lord knows that took persistence. But also, you know, my business is starting to pick up, and so hopefully, you know, I get enough money from my business, I can pay for editors and put a lot more effort, time, and money into this. I thank my casual viewers for continuing to view, even though the content has not been that great lately, but rest assured, it will become just incredible in a very short period of time. So thank you, and goodbye.